today we are celebrating the very best gaming experiences from 2024 and crowning 5 to 9 games very first game of the year. I had such a blast putting the lineup of games together. So whether you're into RPGs, action games, massive high budget AAA open worlds, or even the most innovative indie titles, I truly hope there's something for everyone on this list. Now, let's clarify a couple of disclaimers first. First, this is not an end-all, be-all list. This is not objective. This is obviously subjective because, taste in art and taste in gaming, they're subjective in nature. And it's simply based on how much fun I had, how much my friends and I had with these titles, and our response to the gameplay, the storytelling, the technical performance. So just keep that in mind. Also, no remasters and DLC on the finalist list, so sorry to shadow their tree, but I definitely will give them a special nod in the honorable mentions. But without further ado, here are your very best video games of 2024. Number 6, Helldivers 2. That theme song gets me hyped to defend Super Earth every time. Arrowhead Game Studios delivered 2024's first massive surprise with its sequel and truly dominated the gaming discourse for the first few months of the year. This game is co-op chaos at its finest, with enough action and strategy that kept my squad coming back to defend Super Earth night after night, even amidst the occasional friendly fire. Helldivers 2 didn't retain the same hype all year, but it's always great to see a studio quickly respond to player feedback and make consistent improvement to keep their game relevant, and that's what we definitely saw with Arrowhead. This game was a breath of fresh air and definitely serves as a role model for other studios on how to quickly respond to player feedback and provide a live service without taking advantage of the player base with excessive microtransactions. But be sure to check out Helldivers 2, one of the best games of 2024. Number 5, Balatro. Becoming addicted to a poker-inspired deck-building roguelike wasn't originally on my bingo card for 2024, but wow, I could not set this game down. Developed solo by Local Funk, yes, one person, Balatro was another standout surprise and indie gem from last year. This clever game combines fast-paced strategy, a quirky sense of humor, and a hypnotic theme song. I mean, listen to that music. And the result is a masterful gameplay that will have you craving one more hand. Based on the game's success so far, I really could envision a future where we are revisiting Balatro for years to come. I mean, similar to the likes of Tetris, another indie triumph from back in the day. So if you haven't already, check out Balatro. Number 4, Black Myth Wukong. Now, Black Myth Wukong is a stunning action RPG rooted in Chinese mythology and inspired by 16th century novel Journey to the West. As someone who was unfamiliar with this setting and story, I absolutely loved experiencing it for the first time during my 50 hours plus with this game. This is why I believe video games are an elite modern storytelling medium, because I don't think I would have ever attempted to learn about Chinese mythology without this game. So I have to give a shout out to China-based developer Game Science for telling this story so well. Now, highlights of this game are without a doubt the fluid combat system, gorgeous visuals, and a seemingly endless slew of creative boss fights. I don't think I've ever played through a game with more bosses, quite frankly. Some have touted this game as a Souls-like. I somewhat agree, because there are some Souls-like elements in the combat and boss design, but I would more closely compare it to an action-adventure game, such as God of War. The game features a robust progression system, encouraging implementation and creative playstyles without being too overwhelming. There's no cost to respec, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And while the combat shines, some issues like inconsistent platforming and restrictive level design detract from the experience slightly. Additionally, this game is graphically intense even on the highest end machines, so keep that in mind for your playthrough. Despite these flaws, the accessible gameplay, satisfying combat, and cinematic flair makes Black Myth Wukong one of the best games of 2024. Number 3, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The journey of Cloud Strife and his crew continues in the reimagined Part 2 of the epic saga. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth builds on the success of Final Fantasy VII Remake with a richer story, expanded open world design, and refined gameplay mechanics. I've really been impressed at how Square Enix has innovated the traditional turn-based JRPG formula into something more engaging. For example, the new Synergy ability system was a great addition. It enhances team-based combat. Also, side content like minigames. I've never had more fun riding a chocobo, okay? That was really a highlight for me. Though some pacing issues remain, the game excels with its emotional storytelling, stunning visuals, and engaging combat, which makes it a standout sequel in the trilogy and a must-play for fans of the Final Fantasy VII series.
Number 2. Metaphor ReFantazio. Metaphor ReFantazio is one of those generational RPGs that blends the rich storytelling that Atlus is known for with Persona series with politically charged themes and innovative mechanics to create a truly unforgettable experience. Set in a world of fractured nations and clashing ideologies, this game delves into complicated themes of power, social inequality, and the burdens of leadership. The protagonist, Will, is faced with a journey to unify a divided realm, and it serves as a lens for exploring questions about authority, morality, and the cost of ambition. It's rare that a game or any piece of art, frankly, delivers on exploring these complicated themes without dumbing down the narrative or gameplay experience for players. But that's what makes Metaphor ReFantazio great. In fact, the political narrative is tied to the gameplay, with a royal attribute system like courage, wisdom, and tolerance shaping the decisions players make and the alliance they form along the way. While the narrative demands introspection, the dynamic combat system combined with meaningful character bonds keeps gameplay engaging. Atlus's Studio Zero has truly crafted a modern masterpiece that has resonated with me deeply, making it deserving of a spot on this list. Number 1. Astrobot. You guessed it. Call me a Sony Pony fanboy, I don't care. I love this game, and it had me smiling from beginning to end. Except on the challenge level with the lava and the rubber ducks. That was a bit challenging. But Astrobot is a best-in-class platformer and is a showcase in creative level and technical design. In each level, you're learning a new mechanic and rescuing bots from iconic PlayStation characters of years past. In fact, some of the mechanics and levels are modeled based on iconic PlayStation games such as God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. This is also one of the few games that takes full advantage of the DualSense controller, so you can literally feel each step you take in your fingertips, and it really adds to the immersion. With 2024 being PlayStation's 30th anniversary, Astrobot was truly a love letter to longtime fans of PlayStation and platformers. Team Asobi deserves all the praise for blending nostalgia and innovation in one of gaming's oldest genres, and delivering a platforming masterpiece that rivals even the best Mario titles. That's why Astrobot is 5 to 9 Games' first Game of the Year. Let's also take a quick moment to honor some amazing games I loved this year but didn't quite make the top spots. They didn't meet all the criteria, or I didn't spend enough time with them, but they definitely still deserve some flowers. So here are your honorable mentions. If you made it this far and want to stay plugged into the gaming world outside of your workday, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're working on a most anticipated games of 2025 video right now, and I'll have it linked here when it's finished. Until then, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you 5 to 9.